How you doing? I'm Sean McVeigh with Sean's Outdoor Adventures, and right now I'm working on this deer hide, getting ready for mounting. In the previous videos, I did the eyes, the lips, the nose, and in this one, I'm going to work on the ears. So let's go ahead and get started on the ears. So here is the ear right here. The ear butt is here. And one of the things we're going to be doing is taking this flesh off around the ear. But first, I'm going to work. Got my scalpel here, and I'm going to work underneath the cartilage here where it is coming in contact with the skin. Oh, sounds like my daughter's waking up. My wife is up there with her though, so she can take care of her. So I'm working around the ear butt here. All this flesh, this red here, this is all going to go away. We were going to get rid of all that. We basically want to get down to, right here is white. That's the skin. We want to get it down to the skin so we can salt this. And I have a little bit of a cold. That's why my voice sounds strange compared to normal. My nose is very stuffed up at the moment. See all this white here? That's what we want. We want to get rid of the red, get down to the white. Now I have an ear opener here. Let me find it. There it is. And this is something you can work your way up into the ear and use it to help pull the skin away from the ear. You can still do this without the ear opener. It just supposedly makes it a little bit easier. It's still not super easy though. Just going to use the scalpel to help me get this work to get it started a little bit more. Just working it up in and squeezing it, as you can see. And that's just splitting the skin from the cartilage in the ear. Once you get up in here, you got to be careful. I've had it where it's split out on the bottom side on me before. It's a little bit weaker on the bottom than the top. So you got to be real careful when you're working close to there. Just kind of get it close, and when we turn it inside out, we can do the rest with the scalpel. this inside out here. I'm just using this to help turn it inside out. I'm trying to be careful to not rip it either. Now, one thing that's really important with the ear is to really get it down to the very edge of the ear. When I did my deer last year, I didn't get it all the way to the very outer edge of the ear. And so the solution, the pickling solution, did not penetrate to the edge of the ear. And I had some of my hair slip out because of it. So you really got to get this out to the very edge of the ear. It's very important. So I'm feeling up in here to see how close I am. So keep that in mind. If you don't get out to that very edge, you could have issues later on with the hair slipping out of the edge of your ear because your pickling solution didn't get in contact with that. As I feel up in there, I feel like I got a half an inch still on either side of the ear. So I got a little ways to go yet. So when you're doing your ears, just make sure you reach up in there real good and feel around for the edge of that ear. And make sure you're getting all the way out to that edge. I mentioned this in the other videos. I bought 100 pack of these scalpels, and that's helpful because you really want to keep a sharp edge on here. Sometimes if it's not sharp enough, you actually push too hard and end up cutting through. So I bought 100 pack, and it was only like $7 or $8 when I got them, so they're not expensive at all. Got mine off of Amazon. So when you do this, make sure you get your hands up in there, feel that edge of that ear. Real important, as I learned the hard way. And you can take it farther with the ear openers, but I just didn't want to risk blowing them out. Like I did that before. Got too close to the edge and it just ripped it right open. Just taking my time with the scalpel here. Now I can feel the very edge of this one right here. So that's good. That's where I want it to be. Now, up toward the top of the ear, I'm not there yet though. I can feel that. Take my time and work it all the way out. Okay, so I've got this ear turned inside out to the edges, very carefully, and that's what's really important. So I'm going to work some of this flesh off here, and some of this flesh around in here, and I'm going to do obviously the other ear. Just going to show you this. I'm also going to get these big pieces of flesh off of the cape, and then I'm going to salt it and let it sit overnight. But just be careful when you're doing those ears. Reach up in there and feel the edge. Make sure it feels flat. Like when you feel going across from the cartilage to the skin side, you don't really feel any ridge in there. It feels flat all the way out. Also, when you're taking this meat off like this, you don't even need to use like a very sharp knife. You can use kind of a dull knife, then you don't have as much of a risk cutting into the hide, and you're more or less scraping this flesh off. This knife is fairly dull, and you're kind of just scraping that flesh off so that the salt can penetrate, get to that skin real good for killing. Well, it's not killing the bacteria, it's just inhibiting its growth and metabolism. Just like that. See that coming off there? You want that skin look right there. Now this is red just from the blood, but there's no chunks of flesh, so we just want this meaty stuff off for this part of the process. So this is just sitting there, so I'm just going to put that to the side, do that on the rest of the hide, get that other ear, and then salt it down.